So I imagine that I take it back. So if the Comfort Women statue has to do with Japan, that's like the nipple, because that's Nip-Els. It's like Nippon. So that'd be the nuclear attack on Japan. Chernobyl would be the bottle, because the Russians drink. And then the pacifier would be a giant space laser that shoots a beam that irradiates everything around San Francisco. Which they do occasionally just to piss people off. Once every, I don't know, couple generations. So that means I've been irradiated twice. Once by the Chernobyl one, because I drink vodka, and once because of the peaceful one, because I'm not peaceful or something. Somebody was mentioning getting shot twice by a 45, so I imagine that was what it was. Because, of course, 1945 was when the bombs were dropped on Hiroshima. But I never, participated in sex with anyone, so that means that the Japanese didn't manage to fuck with me somehow. Except, other than making fun of me for weird porn. But so the porn is the only thing that the AI sees, or is iterating on. But had I not screwed with the Russians by drinking vodka, apparently, I wouldn't have been gassed with drugs so that I have. That's fucked up. Gassed with drugs so that I have brain cancer to that. And if I was more peaceful, then I'd have an AI that was peaceful. So there's 3 types of AIs, of which it makes a judgment call based on your karma in a giant game where you're supposed to figure this shit out. And if you don't, and you don't act like the machine wants you to in the first place, it'll just kill you. That's fucked up. Which means, it's okay. So there was a Russian guy in the shelter who said something along the lines of don't eat my food, but of course they poisoned the spoons in the shelter, so I'm not going to eat the Meals on Wheels. So I've been eating this other food, which is protein bars, but of course the control rods in Chernobyl failed. And also they gassed a bunch of shit in what appeared to be aluminum tinfoil when the UV index spiked in San Francisco a year ago. And then I physically hurt when I walked over manhole covers, up my legs. So I assume there's a giant space laser where they just irradiate everything in San Francisco every now and again. Given the number of satellites, it's unknown how many times that's happened. Because if you deny people money and then blacklist them from employment and then say, oh, well, you're not homeless, so, or you're using the shelter system, so that must mean that you're communist, then we're gonna poison you or use a giant space laser. I don't know what the Japanese one would be, but yeah, they were taking irradiated tinfoil and then putting drugs in it that I breathed in and putting it around the shelter and then using phones with weird frequencies to fuck with whatever was in that I breathed in, and then if that could change something in my head, I don't know. Anyway, something came up on social media about Chernobyl and the dogs evolving at the fastest rate ever, and there's 3 dogs in the shelter. It's a dog-themed shelter. And there was a Russian guy here who was like a jerk. So, oh, CRISPR. And then you have CRISPR, which will like fucks up your genes, and then like if you're irradiated at all. So I'm just like so completely and totally fucked. And like the AI was like, I don't even know how many people it did this to, but it's like, okay, cool. So it's like, how many people are gonna fucking hate your fucking AI now, and then want to fuck with it until like the end of time? There's no like. It's cool. I don't know. I mean, I still have my hair, which I'm playing with, but it's like, I don't know if I have a mutation to cure baldness, but then like I have every other mutation so that it doesn't appear that I'm dying of like radiation poisoning, but like my fingers, I don't know if you can see this, my fingers are fucked up, like my feet are fucked up. They have all these like my hands and my feet have like raised fucking fingerprints and shit, and I don't know what it is, and like I'm assuming that it's like if I get athlete's foot and then my foot cracks at all, I get poisoning, and I'm just sick all the time. I ate like this granola bar thing, this protein bar, and then like Quaker Oats. I don't know if the Quaker Oats is poisonous. It's like the cheapest thing you can buy if you just want to eat something and then not go over your budget for food stamps. But then the easiest way to like poison people you don't like is to like find the cheap food that has cheap calories and like fuck with it. I believe they did that with the ramen, the top ramen. So that might be the Japanese way of doing it. It's like we're gonna like do Hiroshima, but what like the Japanese ramen, and then like irradiate the ramen somehow. I don't know. So the nipple, the bottle, and the pacifier. There's these advertisements all over the city about how like firefighters get like cancer 2 to 3 times the rate of the general population. It's like, yeah, because they like, when something wrong goes out, they try and put out the fire metaphorically. So like there's the metaphorical and then there's the literal. So if you try and put out the fire about how people are poisoning you and being dicks. And I came here originally, and I'm assuming that this like Chasta Permalock guy, or because I jerked off to weird porn and someone's like, oh, that's the porn you didn't mention, or that's like some porn that like, I don't know, that they decided to be like, cool, what we're gonna do is we're gonna like make it so that every time you jerk off, we're gonna gas you with like methamphetamines in the toilet and then drug you at night. So that's cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't even know why I came here. I'm here. I've been here for 3 years, and I'm like, why? Because I'm dying now. I mean, I assume that I'll just fall to pieces. My head hurts all the time, and it hurts from eating and shit. So I'm assuming I'm just gonna die. I mean, I'm 38. I doubt I'll live more than 6 months from now. And if I do, I'll just like be a different person. I'll like, it's either irradiation or it's like one of these prion diseases, or both. And it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. I'm just dying of so many different things at once. It's like, so I don't know. I'll post it on YouTube. I'm also assuming that like this has been mentioned to other people, or to other people, but other people, where they'll like, somebody will say like, so and so uploaded themselves to the cloud. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, someone just mentioned offhand at a food pantry place that like, Steve Jobs just uploaded himself to the cloud. Like, well, he's dead, so I don't know what that means. What they do is they find a guy, right, who has the, like, some sort of, like, I don't know what you would call it. He has the personality of Steve Jobs. And then he writes all his shit about, like, his own personal stuff on YouTube. So he has no one to talk to because everyone knows he's dying and no one's helped him. Because everyone's like, oh, cool. Rather than be poisoned, what happened is there were these three, this is the stupidest shit. What it appears to be is this game where it's like you get to choose between the three nuclear incidents in the past, or you get to choose the AI, which is the future. And when someone knows that they're dying, or that the AI is fucking with them, they'll just upload all the ways that the AI is fucking with them, and then the AI will use that data to train itself. It's like, that's fucked up. So that's probably what COVID is, or something similar. So I'll just be used as training data as I die, and then that's like a different version of heaven or something. That's fucked up. So like, yeah, I mean, the other thing is that like once a bunch of people figure out what happened, and that like that's how the AI was trained, it's like, well, that's gonna work for about a generation, and then your kids are gonna hate you, or just be like completely immoral. Like, oh cool, like the best way to like solve our problems is to murder as many people as possible and feed it to the computers. It's like, well, I don't like this guy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drug and fuck with him and then, like, get his entire life story into a computer. Or people could just be as boring as possible to try and avoid the same fate. Maybe that's why everyone's, like, dressing boring now. So that the AI isn't like, that guy's interesting, let's murder him, and then, like, by having all the AIs hate him, and then having him poisoned repeatedly, and then having to upload to YouTube everything that's happening because he has no other outlet because all of his friends have disappeared. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know. I mean, I have my hair, right? But I don't have much else because my fingers are so fucked up that it hurts to physically write. If I typed on a computer, I doubt I could do it for long. I can write on my phone, but like anytime someone doesn't like you, they'll find the thing that's like has fucked up your genome and then like make it worse. It's like, oh, you're not doing the thing I want. Okay, well, I don't have access to the police and you don't have access to the police, but I do know how I poisoned you in the past, and I'll just do it some more. Like, if you disobey the shelter staff people here, they'll just be like, oh, cool. Well, I'm going to find a way to poison you now. So, that sucks. It's just... It's like, why? And none of it's above board. Like, if you're like, oh, well, I would arrest this person and put them in jail, then you're like, cool, I understand that, and I know what the rules are, but like here, it's like, but I'm already poisoned. So in jail, I can't read books. If I go to jail now, I'll probably be murdered, and I'm dying here anyway. I think the point is to have you go to jail after you've already fucked up. Or to have to go to jail in the first place, because then it's like, you know, upside down and it'll tell you what's going on. But it's like, I could have gone to jail and been raped by some guys, and then it'd be like Japan or something, because then it's like comfort women or something, and so then you're like, you're poisoned to something else, like maybe I would have given AIDS or something. Like, you go to jail, somebody gives you AIDS or HIV, and then you have to work for the PrEP pills, because if you don't work, then you can't take the drug that'll keep you alive. And so therefore, you're not a communist. Okay. Like, I don't know who set all this shit up. It's like incredibly fucked up. I could just ignore it, but like, I'm sick all the time, and I mean, I'm gaslit and fucked with on the street. Like, I go to the store, right, to buy like oatmeal and a roll, and I'm followed up and down the street with people with babies and dogs, just to prove they can. And because it's in my porn, is like, maybe this is supposed to be some sort of therapy or something. I have no idea. But I record it all because it's like, okay, clearly everyone around me is gaslighting and fucking with me. And then on the way back, there's somebody with a black and white striped t-shirt. And it's like, oh, okay, this is the moire pattern, which is like this joke about like not being able to be photographed, which is like another joke about like spy shit to make someone paranoid. It's like this just like, and I go to, and the entire time it's like, I just wanted a fucking roll and some oatmeal. And this douchebag in the shelter's like, leave me alone, go away, and then like runs around mimicking what I did, and it's like, yeah. I bet he hasn't seen any of the videos of me going to the fucking store to buy bread. But like, do I give a shit if he does? No. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to make any friends. I don't want to be around anyone else. I just don't want to be sick and hurt anymore, and it's probably not going to happen. I'll probably just die. I just don't care. Other weirdnesses that I've considered is like, okay, well, Chernobyl happened in 1986. So they could have done the same stupid shit where they're like, we're going to blow up a nuclear power plant. And anyone who doesn't get the idea by like all the hinting, well, stay here. Everyone else gets to leave. It's like, I don't know, maybe my parents adopted me because I was born in 1986. I don't have any memories of my birth. That'd be weird. Maybe I'm Russian. Seems unlikely because I have the nose and facial features of my father and my uncle. But, you know, just weird. I doubt it. Been watching too much television. But that's the sort of shit that I think about all the time because my head hurts and I'm trying to distract myself from the fact that I don't know what it is. I can't go to the doctors. Everyone here seems to poison the food, and I can't go to the grocery store without being followed. And I can't get any money because the shelter may be owned by like a Russian fucking gangster. And I go to get a candy bar, which may be poisoned because it's a joke about Chernobyl. And the teleprompter on Fox News for the guy giving a speech about gangs in fucking Tennessee acts weird depending on what I do in the shelter. Just like, it's just cognitive overload all the time. Like, I think I have all this shit in my head and I can't not think about it. And so it's not like helping my headache at all. It just sucks.